It's that time of year again. Despite the coronavirus trying to ruin 2020, we can always rely on motorcycle manufacturers to swoop in and save the day with that all too familiar smell of burning gasoline. Who's ready to find out the most powerful motorcycles of 2020? I thought you may be. 2020 has been a huge success for motorcycle fans all over the world. We have the new MV Agusta Rush 1000 set to arrive in June. And it's set to feature Formula 1 and MotoGP technology. Can we please host a 1-second silence for all the Formula 1 and MotoGP fans? We also have Indian releasing their new version of the FTR 1200 in carbon fibre. Talk about flogging a dead horse. This is fantastic. We have made it in life to expect some serious power out of a superbike. How crazy is it that 200 horsepower was the benchmark last year? What's more spectacular is the pony race in the motorcycle world has only just started. So Bugatti and Koenigsegg's 300-mile-per-hour pony race has ended all record-breaking rivalries to end all rivalries. So let's leave it to the bikers, eh? Who remembers when Kawasaki released the Ninja H2 with 200 horsepower and us mere mortals bowed down to the king? Well, that didn't last long when Ducati got a little bit bratty as they normally do and destroyed the supercharged H2 with pure unadulterated Panigale V4 penetration. Okay, Dad's getting a bit weird. Let's start with the list before Dad gets any more weird. So at number 10, we have the Yamaha R1M, and it produces 197 brake horsepower from the factory. The 2020 R1M is ready to push boundaries with their state-of-the-art Öhlins electronic racing suspension, including new NPX anti-cavitator gas front forks and 3-mode engine brake management. The latest version of the R1M features a new carbon tail, bodywork and mudguards. It has a lightweight ride-by-wire, APS-G throttle, and its exclusive CCU enables wireless trackside tuning. All of this comes at a price starting from £23,000. As I've already stated, this bike produces 197 brake horsepower at 13,500 RPM, and it also produces 130 Nm of torque. Now that's number 10 on our list, and that's 197 brake horsepower. Who would have thought in 2020 there's only going to be 2 bikes on this list that cannot make 200 horsepower? It's crazy. So coming in at number 9 on our list of the most powerful motorcycles for 2020 is the Suzuki GSXR 1000R, which is actually the cheapest motorcycle on this list. It comes in at a base price of 16,000 UK pound. Now it's no secret that this bike makes just under 200 brake horsepower, seeing as there was only 2 that didn't make the cut. So this bike produces 199 brake horsepower. It's literally about 0.6 of a horsepower away from 200, and it weighs 203 kilos wet. It produces 170 Nm of torque. They also claim on the website that the 2020 variant is the most powerful, hardest accelerating GSXR ever built. It is the most aerodynamic and best handling Gixxer. The higher spec comes with lean angle sensitive ABS, balance free suspension, adjustable swing arm pivot, and a lightweight upper yoke as standard. Let's get on to the more exciting stuff. So when I originally made this list and I'd done all the research, I realised that this bike is so far down. I thought this was like number 2 or number 3. But coming in at number 8 is the Panigale V4. It only produces 211 brake horsepower. Never in my life did I expect I would say a bike only produces 211 brake horsepower. What's crazy to me is that when Kawasaki released their Ninja H2, Ducati got bratty and fought back with their V4, and for 2016 I believe the year was, the V4 was a lot more powerful than the Ninja H2 and had like 11 more brake horsepower. I didn't realise what Kawasaki have still been doing to update their Ninja, so we will get on to that. However, let's get back to the Panigale V4 with 211 brake horsepower. My heart sank when I seen that the Panigale V4 was so low on this list, so when I went onto their website and did my research, I nearly started crying. So let me tell you a few things from their website. The 2020 version of the new Panigale V4 boosts performance even further and takes track riding to the next level for amateurs and pros alike. Its winglets, or they like to call it their aero pack, provides enhanced airflow protection and improves overall stability, inspiring confidence. Ducati took feedback from the SBWK, leading to a series of aerodynamics, chassis, electronic control and ride-by-wire mapping changes, designed to increase stability and turning speed. The 2020 version is faster by 1.3 seconds than the 2019 model by amateurs, and it's faster by 0.4 seconds by professional riders that rode the 2020 and 2019 version on the same day. What's that, you don't believe me? Well, here we go. Here's directly from their website. Here's a chart showing you how fast they were on that same day. If this list was about what my favourite bike was, I would definitely put the V4 up higher on my list, and maybe the V4R is. I mean, let's be honest, it is. However, because it's got winglets, it's got spoilers on the side of the motorbike, I'd probably put this in my top 2. Moving on swiftly to number 7. This beat the Panigale V4 by 1 brake horsepower. It is the MV Agusta Brutale 1000. The MV Agusta produces its peak power at 13,600 RPM, and it produces 212 brake horsepower. It is the world's fastest naked bike. It also produces 115 Nm of torque. Now you're going to have some seriously deep pockets and a real want to wheelie. It costs £43,000 UK. Now, the split seat leaves the pattern of the underlying carbon fibre visible, so you can see if you ride this bike naked, you can dip your ball sack directly onto the carbon fibre. It also has 100% carbon fibre wheels too, which is very nice. You're paying for a work of art. This bike is absolutely beautiful. It would be my number 1 if I chose favourite bikes. However, we've got to stick by brake horsepower. So the 2020 version includes new valve guides, a redesigned combustion chamber, reworked camshaft timing, new low friction compression, a brand new camshaft, 2 spoilers mounted next to the radiator, which improves stability and load on the front wheel. And this all comes with a 3-year warranty. If money was no option, any day of the week I would pick this Brutale. Any day of the week. However, this is a list video, so let's move on to the next. I am so ecstatic that a Honda has come in at number 6. So at number 6 we have the Honda CBR 1000 RRRRRRR Fireblade SP. I've chosen the SP version of the Fireblade because it comes in at £20,000, but it comes with a full Akropovich system, which is Euro 5 friendly. It comes with a Brembo 4-piston brake kit, Öhlins NEX front forks, a 9-level HSTC, which is selective torque control. It weighs 201 kilos and produces 215 brake horsepower, and it produces peak power at 14,500 RPM. It produces 113 Nm of torque. It's been a long time since Honda have been at the top of any list, so again, I'm so happy that they've come in at number 6. They've always been great, reliable bikes, and the sound of the Fireblade just blows my mind. This is the part where we lose a lot of our viewers and probably lose all of our subscribers when they come to the realization. So at number 5 is the Panigale V4R. I know, I can't believe it either. I thought this would be number 2 on the list, but here we go. Number 5 is the Panigale V4R. Now, rumour has it that it produces 221 brake horsepower, but rumours also have it that it produces 234 brake horsepower. Now, either way, it doesn't matter because it wouldn't bring it up to number 4, which is, again, crazy. So the Panigale V4R, you would think would be an updated version or an updated engine of the Panigale V4. However, you would be wrong. The engine in the V4R isn't from the V4, it's from the Desmosticci Stradale R. And let's say it produces 234 brake horsepower at 15,500 RPM. We do know it comes in at £35,000. However, that 15,500 RPM isn't quite true, and we will discuss that in a second. So it does produce definitely 112 Nm of torque. The 1,103 cubic centimetre 90-degree V4 from the Panigale V4, it's been replaced by the 998cm Desmosticci Stradale R to comply with the limits imposed by the WSBK Championship. My god, is that a mouthful to remember. The reduction in displacement is obtained by keeping the bore size to 81mm unchanged, whereas the stroke has been changed to 48.4mm. All thanks to a new steel forged crankshaft that rotates on main bearing shells and maintains the 70-degree offset layout of the crank pins. The rev limiter is set to 16,000 RPM, again, which is not quite true, because when you get into 6th gear, the bike will allow you to spank its shiny red butt all the way to 16,500 RPM. The V4R engine is been fitted with lighter internal components to enable that 16,500 RPM limit in 6th without it rattling to death. The V4R engine sustains easier breathing thanks to its oval throttle bodies connected to variable height intake funnels. I can feel the anticipation, it's spreading throughout the air. So at number 4 we have the Kawasaki Ninja H2 Carbon. It has to be the Carbon. Let's talk about it. So the Kawasaki Ninja H2 Carbon, you can pick this up for £28,500, taking the exclusive Ninja H2 ownership experience to a whole new level. The strictly limited edition Ninja H2 Carbon is equipped with carbon fibre upper cowl and boasting Öhlins rear suspension. Only 120 examples will be released worldwide. It produces 228 brake horsepower at 11,500 RPM. However, as long as you enable its ram air system, it will produce 240 brake horsepower with its supercharger. Yes, I said it, it's supercharged, but we all know this. Again, what blows my mind, because of that supercharger, it also produces 142 Nm of torque. The Ninja H2 Custom comes with dual semi-floating 330mm Brembo discs, and it comes with dual radial mounted Brembo Stylema monoblock opposed 4 pistons, and it weighs 238 kilos wet. Can we all press F to pay respect for Panigale? We thought that it was faster than the Kawasaki Ninja H2, however when I did look, with the updated versions, it doesn't hold a candle to it. With all that being said, let's move on to number 3, the Kawasaki Ninja H2R, coming in at £49,000, which again is not that much money if you think of cars. It's the track-only variant of the Ninja H2. It produces 305 brake horsepower at 14,000 RPM, or, get this, it produces 322 brake horsepower when you enable the ram air system from its supercharger. And again, what's mind-blowing, this really is blowing my mind right now as I say this, it produces 165 Nm of torque, weighing in at 216 kilograms, which is 22 kilos lighter than the H2 Carbon. Unfortunately, I know you would like me to talk a lot more about the Ninja H2R, the 2020 version, however, with this update, it's really not that much different to the Kawasaki Ninja H2 Carbon. It's just got more power. So let's move on to number 2 and number 1. At number 2, this is going to leave a sour taste in my mouth and probably in yours, so let's not kiss. It's the Dodge Tomahawk. So they're a well-known brand for high performance. They say they have the fastest, most powerful motorcycles to date, production ones anyway, and that may be true. This Dodge Tomahawk will do 350 miles per hour, which is bizarre, I don't know who did that. So it hosts a 8.3 litre V10 SRT10 Dodge Viper engine. It's a 2-speed manual and it produces 500 brake horsepower and 525 foot-pound of torque. How on earth are you meant to, I don't care how long your wheelbase is, how are you meant to keep that front wheel down? It does 60 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. Again, it does 350 miles per hour, and it was produced between 2003 to 2006. Wait, what's that? What the? It has 4 wheels. Nah, I'm gonna kick this off the list. Let's move on to number 1. Before we do move on to number 1, I am fully aware that the BMW S1000RR, it should be on this list, placing in 8th with 207 brake horsepower. But due to my dreadful experience with my own personal BMW money pit, today we are not acknowledging BMW, because even saying their name has just cost me £100 per shot. So not today, Mr. Unreliable. Let's move on to our number 1 spot. Okay, number 1 on our list. Okay, this isn't a mass-produced motorcycle. However, if you've never heard of this motorcycle before, you are very, very welcome. You may question why it's on this list, however, once I've explained, I'm sure not many of you actually, you'll turn it into a meme, so all of you will say, this shouldn't be number 1, take it off the list. Let's get into it. So number 1 on our list, I can't believe I'm reading this, it's the Rapam V8. You're still not clued up? How much power does this produce? 3, 4, 500 brake horsepower? Nope, it produces 1200 brake horsepower. Who in their right mind would build this? So this monstrosity is the product of a British, of course, 44-year-old engineer man. His name is Nick Argyle. You may ask, this is clearly some ridiculous drag bike or non-road legal motorcycle. Wrong. This is an 8.2 litre supercharged V8 monster truck engine. Yes, I said it. It's a bloody monster truck engine. And it's road legal, and in fact, it's currently road registered. There's one surefire way to tell that this bike is British. It consumes just as much alcohol per mile as any grandad who lives in Newcastle. True Geordie. 4 miles per gallon of alcohol. It's Saturday night every night with this old girl, Jesus. So there we have it. There is the top 10 most powerful motorcycles of 2020. If you do enjoy this style of content, if you like list style videos, make sure to go ahead, drop a like. Leave a comment letting me know of any other bikes that you may have thought that should go in this list, because of course, a lot of it you could swap bikes out here and there. However, I've been as close as I can to having a very realistic, professional styled list of most powerful bikes. Anyway, we've been recording for over 4 hours. I've chopped it down to just under 18 minutes, so I'm going to leave it there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's Ghost, hope you're having a fantastic day and a fantastic night, and staying safe. I'll see you all in tomorrow night's upload.